name is Becky Hoover, class of '84. While I was at Cornell, I was a FIO, I was in the Student Senate, I was involved in various other campus activities, and now I am the chair of the programming committee on the Alumni Association Board of Directors. And so I'm here today to talk to you about a new program that we're instituting called 18 on the 18th. 18 minutes on the 18th of every month to let alumni know about things that are going on campus, spotlight some alumni to let you know what people have done after they've graduated, and then an opportunity for questions and answers. We all get a lot of information from the college, that asks for money. Unfortunately, it's a reality of the situation, but there is more than just money involved in our Cornell experience and our post-Cornell experience, and so this is an opportunity for alumni to engage with each other and with the college in a little bit of a different way. And in fact, that's the goal of the Alumni Association. So I don't know about you, but until I was asked to be on the Alumni Association Board of Directors, to be honest, I didn't know that such a thing existed. But it does. And all alumni are a part of it. And we're interested in, honestly, input from all alumni. And there aren't a lot of good ways to get that input. You've probably seen some all alumni surveys that maybe you've answered, maybe you haven't answered. There are, of course, the class agent letters where you get news of your class. There's the Cornell report where you get news of both the different classes and also some things that are happening on campus. But that isn't necessarily alumni to alumni engagement. And so the Office of Alumni Engagement is always looking for other ways that we can reach out. And the Alumni Association is a good vehicle for doing that. And on the programming committee, we have tried to look at ways that we can engage with all alumni where, quite frankly, it isn't about money. So we're not going to be doing appeals in this format. We will certainly identify the times when major campaigns are going on. The Color It Purple campaign is a big campaign in the spring. It will probably be mentioned, but this is not intended to be a request for money. This is a way for people across the country, across the globe, to interact with what's going on campus and with each other in a way that maybe isn't available otherwise. So this video will be uploaded to the YouTube channel, the Cornell College Alumni Association YouTube channel. And on that channel, we'd like to do a few other things, and we hope at some point that we'll be able to do this as a live stream, which will then also be available as a video so that we can engage more directly. We haven't yet gotten the logistics of how to do that while also interviewing people. So, stay tuned for more things. And, we'd love input from other people. The reason that I mention that is because in this video, when it's uploaded, if you have that YouTube access, a YouTube channel yourself, which is actually fairly easy to create, you will be able to put comments directly on this video. And if you can't comment directly on the video, we encourage you to send comments, questions, concerns to our email address, which will be posted at the end of the video. I'd like to talk a little bit more about the programming committee itself and hopefully encourage some of you out there to participate with us. We meet mostly by phone, of course, because we're geographically distant, so it's very easy to join in, and we'd like your input. We've talked about a number of different programs, from travel programs, whether it's getting a group of alumni together to take a European river cruise or some other travel. That's a very common thing that colleges and universities do. We talked about a lecture series, maybe through a webinar, so that it's easy for people to participate using alumni to give a lecture on something in their experience. We've talked about maybe coordinating with the college to have an on-campus learning experience, maybe during the summer when the dorms aren't being used. We've tossed around a lot of those ideas. And we decided to start with this 18 on the 18th video as a way to initially connect with folks and kind of reach out to the Alumni Association in general, explain about the association, about the board of directors, give a foundation of what's going on campus, but also as a way to reach out to say, hey, would you like to be involved in creating more programming? And so, like I said, as the chair of the programming committee, I'm reaching out and saying, please be involved. And if you would like to be involved, again, please send a note to the Alumni Association email, which again will be at the end of this video. Let us know that you're interested, provide your email so that we can contact you, and that would be much appreciated and really great, because the more input we have on programming that alumni are actually interested in, the more we're able to provide those things that at least a group of people are interested in. And we're not necessarily looking for one thing. Not everybody wants to see the same thing. So the more ideas, the better. And even if you just have an idea and you don't necessarily want to be on the committee, that would be great. An idea would be great. It's not a lot of time. We meet by phone a few times a year, and the calls are probably an hour long. So it's not a huge time commitment, but the input is definitely much appreciated.
Hi y'all, my name is Mary Elliott. I'm class of 1998 from Cornell, and welcome. I'm excited to see the 18 on the 18th getting started, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I graduated from Cornell with a major in history and secondary education and a minor in psychology, so I definitely used the BSS route to have the flexibility to accomplish all of those things. But it allowed me to kind of combine all the things I was passionate about into a major or into a course of study, which was great. I was involved in Student Senate at Cornell. I'm a Kappa Theta, and I was part of the peer advocate group, so that orientation group, and that probably has impacted my career trajectory more than anything else at Cornell. I serve Colorado School of Mines as the Director of Residence Life and Housing, and I love that job. That has certainly been a role that reflects how I feel about education, how I feel about the role of student learning in our society, things like that. And I run the dorms on a college campus, which I never thought I would do. I was not in residence life at Cornell. I would have made the worst RA on the planet. I was much more interested in other activities on weekends than being on duty. But I had lots of friends who were RAs, but I never did it myself. And now I supervise a whole slew of RAs on a college campus, which is fun. I had really wonderful mentors at Cornell, faculty members, Dick Peters and Gail Luck, who just gave their time and energy to their students like nothing I have ever seen. And then John Harp, who is now the vice president at Cornell, vice president for students at Cornell, and at the time was the kind of our advisor, our supervisor for the peer advocates. And I got to hang out with John in that role and learn from him and learn a lot of lessons from him about student engagement and what that looks like. And so when I was a teacher and I was figuring out that I was like 26, and I was like, oh gosh, I don't think teaching is going to be what I can do for the rest of my life. And I called him and I said, just is occurring to me that you had a real job when you were hanging out with us peer mentors or peer advocates. And he said, yeah, and he's actually the one who talked to me about student affairs as a field of study and as a field of a career field. So I went to John for advice, as I always go back to Cornell people for advice still to this day. And he was the person who introduced me to this field that I adore. I love being a part of. I think I make a difference in students' lives every day in the place where they live. So I'm grateful to him and to Cornell for that, which is why I'm involved with Cornell even now, why I have served on the Alumni Association's Board of Directors for almost 12 years now, and why I give my time and my energy to planning events for Colorado alumni is because Cornell gave me a lot. Cornell gave me my best friends. Cornell gave me wonderful mentors and an unparalleled education and a strong sense of self and a strong sense of the things that I am still passionate about to this day. As someone who works in and studies higher education, I appreciate Cornell's dedication to its students. I appreciate Cornell's dedication to the liberal arts and all that that teaches. I appreciate Cornell's dedication to social justice and the work that it does to try to better students' experience in their lives at Cornell, but also outside as soon as they graduate. So I love this place, and I'm honored to remain a part of it through the board of directors, but also by staying connected to Cornell and staying connected to the people that I met while I was there. Those are my questions that I was meant to answer. I hope you all have a great day. Take care.
Thank you, Mary, for being our first alumni spotlight person. The person we choose is going to come from a variety of backgrounds, a variety of years. We are looking to possibly have themes for the different months to tell you what's happening on campus in that kind of theme, and then spotlight an alum who fits within that theme. For January, our topic is going to center around just some things happening on campus that maybe you're unaware of, that the clubs that are available now, all the things to be involved in, and our alumni spotlight will be one of our Young Alumni Award winners, just to show you what is happening with some of the folks that are more recently out of Cornell and how their Cornell experience has impacted what they've done right after Cornell. But I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce our folks in the Office of Alumni Engagement. They are not going to be directly involved in this. As we've talked about, this is going to be sort of a way for alumni to interact with each other, but they are an important resource for us on campus. And I want to kind of introduce them so that when you see emails from them or get correspondence from them, maybe you're more inclined to read it, knowing that they're looking out for our interests. This is the smiling face of Michael Geneser, the Director of the Office of Alumni Engagement. And this is the wonderful Zoe Russell, the Assistant Director of the Office of Alumni Engagement. Thank you for being a part of this first introductory video for 18 on the 18th. We are going to be bringing you a new video every month on the 18th of the month. It will not always be 18 minutes. This one is not quite 18 minutes. Just like some blocks are more intense than others, some videos will be, more intense than others, but we will not go over 18 minutes. The final slide has two pieces of information and a question for you. So we do want to engage alumni with each other. One of the things that I find absolutely fascinating is asking students why they chose Cornell. It is a small school in a small town in Iowa with a relatively unique curriculum. So why did they choose to go there? And so my question for all of you, and this is whether you attended before the block plan or after the block plan or just recently graduated or graduated longer ago than you care to admit, please either comment on the video or send an email to the email address on the final slide and let us know what were the 1 or 2 or maybe 3 reasons that you chose Cornell. It will be very interesting, and I look forward to seeing the answers. If you do go to the YouTube channel, please subscribe. The way YouTube works is the more subscribers we have, the more things they let us do with the channel. So if you would, that would help us out, and thank you very much.